Have Pastor William Parsons from Redeemer Lutheran Church here to lead with the invocation, and then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, the guardian and keeper of your people, watch over those who are entrusted with Fairhope's administration of government. Make them pure and honest. Keep them from temptation and bribery, from favoritism or prejudice, from indolence and neglect of duty. Create in them an earnest desire to serve faithfully, to attend to their efforts, and that their work may not suffer from mediocrity. Permit them to experience the joys of noble service completed for a grateful people. Encourage cooperation from those who are served and from those who help to serve. Use every willing service and every effort to put forth for good government. Bless the rule over your people, and your will may be accomplished among them. Promote all things for the good of your kingdom of your Son, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you all for being here. First thing we'll do is I've got something to add to the agenda. We discussed it in the work session. It is for the procurement of service for repairing the center bearing and replacement of center bearing seals and one clarifier center bearing center swivel pipe assembly for the wastewater treatment plant. Can I get a motion to amend the agenda to add this item?
So moved. Second.
We've got a motion and a second. That will be added as item number 18 right before public participation. I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, the motion passes and it will be added as number 18 on the agenda. First order of business, we will approve the minutes of the June 22nd, 2020 regular city council meeting, the minutes of the June 22nd, 2020 work session, minutes of the 22nd of June 2020 agenda meeting, and the June 25th, 2020 special emergency city council meeting.
Make a motion we approve as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any changes, edits, or deletions? All right. If not, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Mayor Wilson, your report.
Thank you. Waiting on the presentation real quick. I don't have a slide for this, but because I got it in late this afternoon, but I wanted to congratulate Fairhope semi-pro football team, the Storm, now in its second round of playoffs after winning 24-0 over the weekend. The commissioner of the league stated this morning about Fairhope Storm, it is absolutely the best put together product in semi-pro I've ever seen. He also said that the pro truly changes is with organizations like the Storm, led by people with integrity. So they made us proud, and congratulations. Many have reached out to me requesting the city mandate masks. We did discuss this during the work session, and right now it isn't going to be voted on, but we all agree that this definitely needs to be, taken very seriously because the cases are going up. I will share some of the facts, and again, this is for our citizens, and what I discussed during the work session. The CDC recommends that people wear cloth mask coverings in public settings and when around people who don't live in their household, especially when social distancing measures are difficult to maintain. Other information I want to share so people are informed. Thomas Hospital advised that the percentage of positive results out of total tested has gone from around 2.4% pre-June and steadily rising to today about 10 to 12%, and that is increasing incrementally. They averaged 3 to 4 people being treated for COVID in the hospital pre-June to today. They have 17 COVID patients, and last week 21, but this was prefaced with the information that some of the patients that came in were not coming in for COVID, they just tested for COVID. An article, June 10th, came out from 24/7 Wall Street commentary site, ranked Daphne Fairhope Foley 28th fastest growing cities in the country for COVID-19 cases. Having local data is key in making the local decision, and of course for citizens to be accountable for themselves. Something I've been trying to obtain from the state Department of Health for months. Our attorney that we hired for COVID consultation sent a public records request on I think it was June 30th. And I'm happy to report that today, literally at the end of the work session, I got a spreadsheet that I'll post on my Facebook, and I'll have the city post on their Facebook as well. But all it is, though, is confirmed cases. But based on Thomas Hospital, that percentage is going up. So even without that information, from June 23rd to June 29th, and these are weekly updates, the increase was 55%. From June 30th to July 5th, the increase was 17%. From July 6th to July 12th, the increase in 1 week is 46%. And then that's all I have for now, but it's definitely, we're a city it's increasing steadily. Sewer upgrades continue. I did find out from our operation director that so far we have spent $8 million. We've invested $8 million so far in sewer system upgrades without borrowing money. This does not include the $11 million approved in 2018 and awarded in May 2020 for restore funds. And after we obtained a cost of service study, we learned that for every dollar we collect for sewer service, we were only covering 72 cents on the dollar. And that's what will be discussed tonight about the incremental increases that will need to happen over the next 3 years. But because of the restore funds, these increases will not be as high as they would have been. I have 2 new employees to introduce. I'm pleased to announce that we have a new head golf pro at Quail Creek who joined us on June 29th. Brian Williamson comes to Fairhope from Marion, Alabama, where he was the golf manager and head coach for the men's and women's golf program at the Military College of Alabama. In addition to his coaching expertise, Brian brings 30 years of experience in golf, which includes being a touring pro, director of golf at White Oak Plantation in Yulee, Florida, and head golf pro at Cairo, Texas. Brian's degree in business administration from the University of Texas has served him well in the industry as a contractor to Royal Caribbean and Carnival Cruise Lines, and as corporate group golf professional for the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Brian has an extensive background in food and beverage and golf retail management and is looking forward to implementing some of his ideas to improve sales at Quail Creek. He and his wife are excited to make Fairhope their new home for a long time to come, and so please welcome him when you're out at Quail Creek. And someone who just started today, and you know what? I have the slide, but the copy and paste was not there, and I'm going to do it right now. But in the meantime, will you please stand up because she is here tonight. So, oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Hello. I'm glad y'all are standing up. I know that y'all sent it to me because it's right here. So I'm sorry. Please bear with me. Lynn, did you send it to me? I did. Okay, so it's going to be under Lynn. I don't want to put you on the spot.
But for now, just enjoy seeing your face up on the screen.
It's a pretty face. And I'm going to find it, and I'm going to introduce you again. when I find it. But to finish up the slide, and this is important to me, so this is, you know, the last couple of weeks have been difficult because there's been a lot of good people working on a project for the citizens, and I just want to get the record straight right now. This whole term has really been about giving voice back to citizens and sharing the facts with citizens so they are more informed. It has been, I can give 100 different examples of what happened this term alone. I announced in early 2017 that the city had been reporting for decades that it was fiscally healthy, when in fact we had been running around a $6 million deficit due to the misappropriation of utility profits. All this was wrong, and it had to be fixed, and it was fixed. Since you know about it now, my hope is that we never get back to that point again, and that you will hold people accountable. I let y'all know when there was over 100 acres of parkland about to be given away to a third party under the guise of a conservation easement. I made sure you knew about it while making it clear that this should not happen because it was not legal and it required a citizen vote. The attempt failed for now. When your vision for the future use of the K1 property was going to be ignored because the rights to the property were going to be given to a third party, I insisted citizens must be part of its future life. We started the citizen engagement, and now a mission statement exists developed by citizens. By the way, this almost happened again about a month ago. The same third party tried to capitalize on your property without consideration of your mission statement and priority objectives. I stood up for your rights and made certain it was not going to be given away again to a third party. Another success for now. When a proposed subdivision was getting ready to be approved atop Tatumville Gully, one of our most sensitive watersheds, I let you know, and 25,000 of you signed a petition stating you did not want this approved. A success for now. I asked for funding to engage citizens to enable you to take part in the budget process so elected officials could understand your priorities and prevent reactionary spending that continues to happen today. While it was denied several years ago, the 2021 budget will include citizen survey for capital spending priorities, which will be put together in-house. It won't be as comprehensive, but it must take place. The comprehensive land use plan, starting this fall, will completely be driven by citizen input and buy-in for your vision. Otherwise, there would be no accountability for the future for elected officials to uphold your vision. That starts this fall. All of this is to say that accusing me of doing anything without citizen engagement is patently untrue. My actions speak louder than rumors. The Working Waterfront Project, get the facts. As your mayor, I successfully obtained a total of $18 million in restore funds, most of which will be spent on sewer system upgrades, in addition to a study to prevent sewer system overflows along the eastern shore. $8 million has been invested so far in sewer system upgrades, using utility profits before the money even kicks in. $6.2 million of this was proposed and awarded for the Working Waterfront, which is and will continue to be citizen-driven vision on how to improve this iconic municipal pier in South Park for generations to come. The facts. A handful of people started rumors about tearing down the trees on the bluff. Then it was defacing the bluff and anything negative they could think of. And this is unfortunate for citizens because it's false. Furthermore, because these rumors influenced good people into believing it as fact, we announced on June 18th, almost a month ago, that the plan would be fully re-engaged. The fact that this group continues the rhetoric is, again, very unfortunate. Unlike the past, when the loudest influence decisions for you, it will not be the case for the working waterfront. Everyone will have an opportunity again to take part after the re-engagement plan is developed this summer. You'll have a safe and easy way to obtain all the facts, with plenty of opportunities for input and the ability to speak for yourself. I know this sounds too good to be true, because that has not been the case in the past. But no one can stop you, the citizen, from shutting you out. Please understand, council will have the opportunity for input just like every other citizen, but the plan is not their decision. It's not my decision, and any future elected official's decision. It has and will continue to be citizens' plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Next on the agenda is public participation for agenda items only. Remember that there is another public participation at the end of the agenda for any other item that you wish to discuss. So this is now public participation for agenda items number 5 through the newly added number 18. If you have any comment, please approach the podium, give us your name and address, please. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing no takers, I will close public participation and go right into council comments. Councilman Burrell.
Yes, sir, Councilman Robinson. Thanks for letting me speak. As you may have noticed, I am not at the meeting tonight. I am at home. I am quarantining. On or about June the 24th, a member of my household received a phone call that one of their coworkers had tested positive for COVID-19. So a couple of days later, my household decided to start quarantining. This member of the household had not had a test. They went and took the test, and it took several days to get the results back. When we received the results, it was a positive result. The remaining members of my household went on or about June the 29th, the 30th, the Monday or Tuesday, the following week. We received the results back, and my wife and I both tested positive for COVID-19. So we are now in our 16th or 7th day, or 16th or 17th day of quarantine. The first member of my household, one of my childs, they have since tested negative and have been released. And I myself, I do meet the Alabama Department of Public Health guidelines for being able to return to work. However, I think in my position, it would be prudent to get a negative test before I return back to the public. I had a test taken earlier today, and I will await the results. And so I will not be in the public until I receive a negative test. But I want to thank everybody. Thank Jay for running the meeting. Thank the staff for helping, Lisa for putting the agenda together. And I do think that it's important that we urge the public to wear masks when you can't properly social distance, and wear a mask when you're in the public where you have to be near people. I do understand that there are people that can't wear a mask for maybe various other health reasons, and it's not healthy for you to wear a mask. So I understand that. I'm not for mandating that our citizens wear masks. I'm not for passing an ordinance, but I am for encouraging you when you can and when you can't socially distance to wear a mask in public, and I will do my best to follow my own advice. And I just wanted to put that out there. Forgive me for taking so long. We just wanted to make sure that my family was all taken care of. We are all doing very well. As I said, one of the members and one of my children is now negative, and my wife and I, neither one of us ever had to go to the hospital. I believe that I was the sickest of the three of us, feeling pretty ill for several days back around July the 4th, 5th timeframe. But now I feel good, and I believe I'm over it, but I'll wait for a negative test result. Just a few things about the stats, and I appreciate the mayor sharing those, is, you know, the numbers, we're number like 28 in the country now, but we had a pretty low number to begin with in Baldwin County. We were running around 10 new cases every day, and that doubled to 20, which put us on the map, partially because of that 100% increase. But for a county of roughly 250,000 people, we're probably not the worst county. Our cumulative numbers are about a fourth of what they are in Mobile County. Our deaths are much lower than that in Mobile County. But we want to keep the curve flattened. We want to be smart out there. So I ask everybody to practice your social distancing, wear masks when you can. Another thing that I heard was that the percentage of positive tests has gone up pretty dramatically, and that is true. I think, for one, there is a much higher prevalence of COVID-19 in the county, but also I have heard that they are only testing people that are symptomatic. In other words, I hear they're not allowing you to go into some of these urgent care centers and doctor's offices and have tests if you're not symptomatic. And I would have to think that scientifically that has something to do with the higher percentage. I don't know how much of that higher percentage is accountable to that, but I do know that, you know, 3 members of my family tested positive, and I know other people, quite a few other people that have tested positive recently. So there's no doubt that our numbers are on the rise. Let's just hope that once you get it, you have the antibodies and you can stay immune to it for quite a while. With that, I'll turn it back over to the rest of the council, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Jack. Next, council comments, Jimmy?
I think Jack pretty well covered what I was going to say, but I would just echo his request that citizens wear your mask, especially when you're in public and not able to socially distance. It's something to take very seriously, the virus is, and hopefully we will get through this, but I think the rest of us can just do our best to lead by example and also wear masks when we're out in public and in areas that we're unable to be 5 or 6 feet away from people. So everybody stay safe.
Councilman Brown?
Yeah, I'd like to mention what Richard Johnson brought up about the utility crews and public works. A lot of kudos out there on social media for the response after the storm that came through last night in Fairhope. Glad nobody was hurt, and appreciate all the employees' dedication to our fine city. That's it.
Councilman Boone?
Yeah, I was going to mention, I got a sheet here concerning the elections, upcoming elections for the 2020 Fairhope Municipal City. And I thought it'd be important to kind of read some of these dates, so anybody's got it out there that'd like to write them down, feel free. But July 7th of this year was the qualifying period, and it's the 7th through the 21st. July 28th is the absentee voting begins. August 20th is the last day to apply for absentee ballots. August 24th is the last day to return your hand-delivered absentee ballot, and it's at the close of business, which would be 5 p.m. August 25th is the last day to receive mail absentee ballots, must be postmarked by August 24th and received by noon. And August 25th is the election days. Polls will be open from 7 to 7. I'd like to encourage everybody to get out, and if you feel uncomfortable about voting in public, is to at least fill out the absentee ballots and get your vote in, because it's extremely important.
If I could just add something, Kevin, since you mentioned that, there is a runoff election tomorrow, so be sure and vote. I'm sure the turnout's going to be really, really low, so please exercise your ability to come out and vote.
I found the slide, if you can let me introduce.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So sorry. But Sharice Rada is our new HR manager. She brings with her 10 years of HR experience to the city of Fairhope, including new recruitment avenues to bring the best qualified applicants to the job, developing management-employee relationships to enhance job performance, developing safety programs, and maintaining an open-door policy. Among the many things Sharice will take to the lead and here in Fairhope is utilizing Munis modules to get our records filed digitally and reduce the inordinate amount of time-consuming paperwork we deal with today. Sharice graduated from USA in Mobile with a BS in Business Administration with a concentration in Human Resource Management. She lives in Daphne. So welcome.
Welcome.
Both of you. Thank
Both
you.
of you. All right, Councilman Boone, was that your?
That was it.
Okay. My only comment is I would like to take this opportunity to wish my wonderful bride a happy birthday and encourage you all to be brief so that I may get home and celebrate it with her as soon as possible. And I wanted to mention something else I should have said when we started. We have removed item number 19 from the agenda, which is the executive session. And that could potentially be rescheduled for a later meeting. But with council comments closed, I will move into item number 5, which is an ordinance to establish water and wastewater sewer rates for all customers of the city of Fairhope water and wastewater systems, and to repeal ordinance number 1383, ordinance number 1554, and ordinance number 1555. And can I have somebody introduce the ordinance?
I'll introduce it.
Ordinance has been introduced. Mr. Allison?
Okay. If council remember, we recently had a cost of service study completed by Jackson Thornton as a consultant. And one of the things that they did find was that we were significantly underfunded in our wastewater department, about 72% of where we needed to be. So every dollar that we needed to operate the utility, we were taking in approximately 72%. We spent a little bit of time looking at our rates, looking at how to make up this gap. Last work session, I brought a couple options back to y'all as far as getting there within 2 years, 2 different options, and you asked me to come back with a 3-year step program, which actually worked out pretty well. So what you have before you is a 3-year increase in the ordinance. Lisa and I worked a little bit on getting that, cleaning up that ordinance a little bit as well, because there's some old language in there that needed to be cleaned out. And so we cleaned that up, and in there, you'll notice that it starts October 1st of this year, October 1st of next year, and October 1st of the following year. The end result, and that's carrying the money forward to 2020 values from the 2018, which is what the study was based on, the utility ends up at 100% funded. And so we don't have to cross-subsidize from the water department any longer.
In simplest terms, Mike, we were running at about a 28% deficit in wastewater sewer, and this gets us over a 3-year period back to 100%.
Back to 100%.
With that 100% including the necessary funds for continued upkeep and maintenance.
Correct.
Anybody got any questions for Mike on this? This is, if you'll remember, we did discuss this at our work session at our last meeting. If there is no discussion, absent a vote, this will roll over till our next regularly scheduled council meeting. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Item number 6 is a resolution that the City Council approves and authorizes the mayor and the city to enter into a grant agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to rehabilitate Apron, expand Access Road, which is more fully described in the project application for the HL Sonny Callahan Airport. The FAA grant amount is an amount not to exceed $494,527. Jack mentioned this in the work session. Jack, do you want to briefly tell everybody about this?
Yeah, one thing to point out in this year's FAA grant is that there is no matching from the airport authority. Typically, the FAA provides 90% of the funding. The state of Alabama provides 5%, and the airport authority provides 5%. It's noteworthy that this grant, and I'll go ahead and skip to number 7 also, will be funded at 100% by the FAA. Item number 6, the grant is for an extension of the access road on the east side of the airport, which is where you see most of the new construction going on. It's been going on for several years. We're about $10 million into that, improvements on that side of the airport, but it will also cover resurfacing of taxiways on the west side of the airport. And if I may just go ahead and skip ahead on number 7, the $140,199, once again, 100% funded by FAA, is to update the airport master plan.
Okay. As it pertains to item number 6, Council, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Item number 6 passes. Moving right into number 7. I think Jack has just explained that to us a little bit, but it's the resolution that the city council approves and authorizes the mayor and the city to enter into a grant agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to update airport master plan, which is more fully described in the project application for the HL Sonny Callahan Airport. The FAA grant amount is an amount not to exceed $140,199. And again, this is a non-match grant, meaning that the city is not spending any money in response to this.
I'll make a motion we approve as presented.
I've got a motion.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion on agenda item number 7? Hearing none, all those in favor of item number 7 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item number 7 passes. Item number 8 is that the city council approves the selection of Volkert to perform professional design engineering services for utility easement at Coleman Lane and Sibley Creek in Spanish Fort, Alabama, and hereby authorizes Mayor Karen Wilson to negotiate a fee schedule and establish a not-to-exceed limit with this firm. Mr. Allison went over this in the work session, but I'll entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Council, or any questions or comments? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item 8 passes. Number 9 is a resolution that the city of Fairhope approves the procurement for wastewater containers service to remove solid waste from treatment plant from Republic Services with an estimated cost of $8,181.26, and authorizes the mayor to sign a 1-year contract for these services. Tim discussed these and explained this to us in the work session. I'll entertain a motion and a second.
I move to approve the procurement.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item 9 passes. Item number 10 is a resolution that the city council approves the selection of Goodwin Mills and Kaywood for professional survey services for the entire landfill property, and hereby authorizes Mayor Karen Wilson to execute a contract with a total cost of $3,000. Mr. Johnson was kind enough to explain this to us in the work session, so I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion, council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Item 10 passes. Number 11, resolution that the city council approves the selection of Geocon Engineering and Testing to perform professional engineering for geotechnical testing and observation for the Church Street utility and drainage improvements, and hereby authorizes Mayor Karen Wilson to negotiate a fee schedule and establish a not-to-exceed limit with this firm. Mr. Allison explained this to us in the work session, and so I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion or questions for Mike on this topic? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item number 11 passes. Item number 12 is a resolution to award bid for ice vending machine for Marina at the Fairhope Docks to Asphalt Service, Inc., with a total bid proposal of $24,000. The bid is now awarded. We now awarded the bid for ice vending machine for the Marina at Fairhope Docks and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance agreement and the license agreement and approves this unbudgeted item. We've talked about this at a prior meeting, and Jack explained it a little bit in the work session, so I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Council, any further discussions or questions on item number 12? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item 12 passes. Item number 13 is a resolution that the city of Fairhope has voted to procure cloud-based video storage space for the IT department, and the service is available for direct procurement through the U.S. Communities Omnia Partners contract, which has been nationally bid through its bid process and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. The cost will be $62,000 annually. We had Jeff explain this in the work session. Jeff, this is a budgeted item?
That's correct.
Okay. Council, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion or questions for Jeff on this matter? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
I think I voted aye. I had my computer muted, sorry.
Thank you, Councilman Burrell. All right, so that is unanimous. Item 13 passes. Moving on, number 14 is a resolution that the City of Fairhope has voted to procure or to purchase a 2020 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x2 pickup truck for the meter department, and the type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama Department of Purchasing bid list and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. The cost will be $23,854. Where do we stand on budget? Anybody?
22,000 under.
20.
I wanted to point that out. It says that it's 22,000 under budget, but the budget's for 2 trucks. So I don't think we should fudge numbers and say it's 22,000 under budget when we're buying 1 truck. It's really roughly $854 over budget for 1 truck, which is not a big deal, and I don't oppose, but to put on the green sheet that it's 22,000 and something dollars under budget, I think it's a little bit misleading.
Thanks for killing the mood, Jack. We appreciate it.
Rob, anytime.
All right, so that was explained. It is in the budget, and it is, Councilman Burrell is correct, it is slightly above budget. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion? Questions on item number 14? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item number 15 is a resolution that the City of Fairhope has voted to purchase 3 in-car camera systems and warranties for the Fairhope Police Department from WatchGuard, Inc., and the vendor is exclusive and sole source manufacturer for this equipment. The system is available for procurement without formal bidding, provided by the Code of Alabama, Section 51:16-51A13. The total cost is $16,159.50. Okay, and just for the record, that is $159.50 over budget. Council Chief explained this to us in the work session. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Item number 15 passes. Item number 16 is a resolution that the compensation and job classification plan, along with the grade order sheet, be amended and approved to reclassify 4 equipment operator 3 to a sanitation crew leader and approve the updated sanitation crew leader job descriptions. This is a housekeeping matter that Mr. Johnson explained to us in the work session, so I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion or questions for Mr. Johnson on this? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Item passes. Item number 17 is a resolution that certain items are declared surplus, and the mayor and city treasurer are hereby authorized and directed to dispose of personal property owned by the City of Fairhope by one of the following methods. Number 1, receiving bids for such property via gov deals, sold to the highest bidder, provided, however, that the city council shall have the authority to reject all bids when in its opinion, it deems the bids to have been less than adequate consideration for the personal property. Number 2, sold for scrap or recycle at the highest offered value. And 3, disposal via landfill. Again, Mr. Johnson explained this to us during the work session. And Richard, just for the public watching now, when does this go live, assuming it's passed tonight? Sorry.
They should post by week's end.
Okay, by week's end. And for those interested in bidding, you go to govdeals.com and hit the upper right-hand corner button for registration. All right. And so I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Council, for any further discussion, questions, or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Any
Aye.
opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Item number 18 is one that we walked on, and I'll read that resolution. It's a resolution that the City of Fairhope approves the procurement of service for repairing the center bearing and replacement of center bearing seals and one clarifier center bearing center swivel pipe assembly for the wastewater treatment plant from Jim House and Associates as the sole source provider for municipal application of Schreiber products in the state of Alabama. The unit must fit into our existing standardized system and are exempt from formal bid pursuant to Code of Alabama 1975, 41-16-57B1 and 2. The cost will be approximately $14,408. Council, this was explained to us during the work session. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Council, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. Item 19 is now public participation on all non-agenda items. If you have something you'd like to bring before the council, please come to the podium and tell us your name and address, and you will be given 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Bill Getter. I'm here representing the Baldwin County Medical Society. The president of that society could not come tonight, but has sent in you a letter. And the issue made me very happy is COVID and where we are with COVID. I've been in this community 33 years. I'm board certified in internal medicine and pulmonary disease, and I currently serve as a faculty member of the new internal medicine program at Thomas Hospital, which is now 13 days old. As you've already said, the COVID is spreading. Some changes need to be made, and I think you've hit upon a very important issue. There are some facts about COVID that I'd like to share with everybody. And the first is that it is now, the best science we have now is the most common method of spread of COVID is this way. It's two people talking with each other in close proximity for a length of time. It is very unlikely that you're going to catch COVID by just walking by somebody. When you put on a mask, you do several things. One thing you do is if you touch a contaminated surface, you can't touch your face if you're wearing a mask. And I hate these things, but I wear them all the time. The second thing is you do contain your own secretions. Now, when you talk, you actually project droplets of water about as far as your arms can go. And so two people that are within that distance of each other are transmitting droplets of water with whatever is in that water. The other awareness is that a lot of the contagion happens when the patient is asymptomatic. For 24 hours before one gets the first symptom or has any fever, one can be highly, highly contagious. If the United States, if everybody in the U.S. put on a mask and did this for 4 weeks, you'd see the numbers drop dramatically. And we could be like Denmark in a very short period of time. One of the problems is we've had some bad information, and even the media has led us in a wrong direction. The media has assumed that if you can either shut it down, the virus, or shut down the economy, and the two should not be related. In Germany, they had over half of their manufacturing continued during the worst of the pandemic in that country, and they did it by doing sensible practices. We can do the same here, and I applaud what I heard you say. I'm not asking for an ordinance. I'm just asking that we do what we can do, and we really need to take this up on a state level. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Floor is still open for public participation for non-agenda items.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I I'm Sue Kirk, and I've lived here in Fairhope for some time. And as you said, the utility people are fabulous. They really are. And they come out, bless their hearts, at awful times. I worried about the trash truck last night in that rain. I thought it was terrible. I am concerned because nationwide, there is all of this idiocy and stupidity about defunding police. I just want to be assured by our city council that our police department, because I can give you any number of cases where they have just, well, one changed my tire or helped me change the tire with a full jacket on and everything in the heat, and was a wonderful gentleman. There's many cases, but I'm just asking, please, if nothing else, give them a raise, because we do have a wonderful police department.
Yes.
And we have a wonderful town, and we have nice people. And, you know, I always make a joke at the grocery store. I said, well, I guess we better stay 6 foot apart since we're not protesting or rioting. We're just, you know. But in any event, I want to thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless you.
I think I can speak for everyone up here at least when I say that we all agree that we have the most wonderful police department in anywhere that I can possibly think of. Any other comments? Seeing no one, I will close public participation, and since the executive session was removed, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries, and meeting is adjourned.
What time are we supposed to be at your house for the cutting